Good morning, everyone. This is Deborah Anderson from Chakra Shaka with another lesson, blessing, and hopefully a message. Father, Yah, I ask that you come into the room and you speak to me and through me that someone may get a lesson, blessing, or message. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed will be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the kingdom and the glory forever and ever. Hallelujah. Yah has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Any tongue that rises against us in judgment, Yah shall condemn. For we are the righteousness and the inheritance of the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. All right, you guys. Today the lesson is coming from the book of Matthew, chapter 27, verses 1 through 10. And I'll start reading at verse 1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and all the elders of the people took counsel against Yeshua to put him to death. Now, y'all know Uncle Yeshua didn't do nothing. He was an innocent man. Why were they sitting around, the chief priests and the elders and the people, taking counsel with each other, sitting down, collaborating on how they gonna murder Uncle Yeshua? Before I go on, I got another thing that came in my spirit. Someone's trying to kill their husband. They hired a hitman to take him out. Lord have mercy, for insurance money. I tell you, these people is getting worse and worse by the day. Everybody want to get paid the wrong way. Lord have mercy on her and his son. But let's keep going. And when they had bound him, they led him away, and they delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. So, remember when the soldiers came in the Garden of Gethsemane, and Peter had to chop off the high priest's ear. I know it said they chopped off the servant's ear, but there was no servants there. They chopped off that high priest's ear. They just didn't want you to know how wicked he was, that the Most High would allow his ear to be chopped off, but he did. But they took him to the governor, Pontius Pilate. And they took Uncle Yeshua from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall, trying to find something on him to keep him locked up, but they couldn't. They had to, release him every time. But this particular time, they kept him because Judas, remember, he betrayed him. So they knew exactly which one of the guys was Uncle Yeshua, but before they didn't know. With the 12 disciples he had, they didn't know Uncle Yeshua from the 12 disciples. They didn't know which one was him. That's the truth. It says, let's keep going. So we know that now he has been delivered to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas Iscariot, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, he repented himself, and he brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders. So, boy, I tell you, the Most High got a way of working with wicked people. He was big and bad and bold. Remember when he left, he went to go betray Uncle Yeshua, kissed him, betrayed him with a kiss, and his 30 pieces of silver. Now, after they condemned Uncle Yeshua, it says that Judas went back to the high priest and the elders and tried to get that money back. He didn't even want that money. That was blood money. He didn't even feel right holding it in his hand. He tried to give it back. Let's see what happened. When he gave it back, he started saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. That's what he get. He tried to he tried to right a wrong, but it was much too late. He knew he was shedding innocent blood. Righteous, holy, innocent blood. Wow, they said, what do we got to do with that? What is it to us? And then I don't know who they was talking with when they said, see thou to that. I guess they was telling somebody, see to him. So, because they was ignoring him after he had done all this dirty work, that's told you what the devil do. He make you do the work. He don't do nothing. He keep his hands clean. He don't do nothing. He send you in there. They sent old Judas in there. Now he's sitting up here feeling some kind of way. Yeah, he feeling some kind of way. He went back and he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, and he departed and went and hung himself. Lord have mercy. He couldn't live with what he had done. His conscience was tearing him a new butthole. That's what I'm trying to explain. You guys can't come against the righteous. Don't do it. Don't do it. It won't benefit you at all. It's gonna hurt you. You know. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying it because I consider myself to be a righteous person. I'm saying it because the Most High has given ample examples of what happened to the wicked when they come up against His chosen children. Something bad always happens. It never ends good. Remember the Egyptians? It just never ends good. It says, and the chief priests, they took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for us to put them in the treasury because it is the price of blood. See, they know that money was tainted. They know what they did was wrong. I told you about them high priests, them Pharisees, them Sadducees, and them elders. They didn't even want to put that money back into the treasury with the rest of the money. They figured that to be dirty money, blood money. Because they knew they had betrayed Yeshua. And they took counsel. Here they go again, getting together, having these little private meetings. And they brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Also, they took the silver that Judas had left, and they bought a burial ground to bury strangers in. And it says, wherefore the field was called the field of blood unto this day. They call it the field of blood because it was bought with blood money, the blood of killing Uncle Yeshua, innocent man. Lord have mercy. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken of by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value. They only saw Yeshua worth 30 pieces of silver. They saw Judas's life or his freedom or him. That was a big thing Judas did. And he only got 30 pieces of silver for it? No, baby. That was too cheap. But murder for hire at a cheap price. Well, they said the price of him was value, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Most High Yah appointed me. So they took the 30 pieces of silver, and they gave it for the potter's field. They said as the Most High had appointed them. But truly, I don't believe the Most High was guiding them at this time. I think them people, those Pharisees, excuse me, the Pharisees and Sadducees, I think they did that to clear their conscience. I think their conscience was bothering them. I think after a while they kind of figured out who Uncle Yeshua was, you know. And once they really realized it, because once he really died, y'all remember it got dark. The story said it got dark and the ground began to crack and the dead that was in the ground began to rise because they thought Uncle Yeshua was making his return. He was making his return back home to Father Yah, but they thought he was coming to, it was judgment day. They started to get up out their graves. Lord have mercy. Yeah. They said it stayed dark for like 3 hours. Mm. Mm. So they knew they had killed someone that was dear to the Most High Yah. They knew it. They knew exactly what they had done. And Judas too. He couldn't even live with what he had done. He couldn't even live with himself. Judas wasn't as wicked as those high priests and those elders. Them elders could care less. You see, they went right back to ripping off somebody else and trying to figure out who they're going to murder next. It was like the wicked in the city and the land shedding blood. Remember, they was the ones who bought the woman and didn't bring the man when they got caught in the act of adultery. They were crooks. And the preachers today is the same way, y'all. It's more modern now, you know, more slicker ways of doing stuff because we got all this technology, but it's the same thing, just different faces, you know. But Judas, now that I really think about it, Judas was really weak. He did all that big and bold stuff, but he was really weak. I can imagine his conscience was eating him alive. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat, he couldn't do nothing. When you come against the righteous, it runs you nuts. It almost runs you nuts. Yeah, it ran Judas nuts till he hung himself, Lord. Well, you guys, don't be a Judas. That's the end of the lesson, blessing, or message. For today, I pray that the Most High forever shine His light on you, kiss you smack dead in your forehead, open up your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, that you may see the errors of your ways and the errors of these Pharisees and these Sadducees and these elders and Judas. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Don't be a Judas, y'all. Until tomorrow, I love you with the love of Yeshua. Deuces.